me stuck on the phone, man, I'm in love. Crouching, matching me, sure I got a date on the phone. Yeah, babe, got my sexy voice on, I'm speaking for settle. And when she call her baby, I love you. No man, no.
Bruce on the vibe. Charlie, this is your boy Kofi Bruce. I just dropped 2 smash hits today, right? ATM and then Phone Date, available on all streaming platforms.
Sweet. Now, upon listening to ATM, right, I realized that it's very, very laid back. It has this mellow vibe to it.
Exactly.
Now, I want you to tell me what headspace you were in when creating the song. Was there something specific you wanted to communicate with that calm energy?
Yeah, so basically with that, you see, the song basically talks about or describes the moment where you're sort of like coaxing a girl for the, in the beginning where you guys fall in love for the first time. So obviously you don't at that point you're soft spoken with the lady and all of that. So I just put that in the music, even in the mastering. It's very very calming. It's not as loud as the standard. You understand?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Even before listening to ATM and then Phone Dates, I was listening to some of the songs in your discography, and I realized that your music has a very, very like rich and soothing instrumentation. To be very honest, it almost feels like intoxicating, right? Now, is there a specific reason behind the heavy focus on this element in your production, or is that something that happens naturally, like in your creative process?
Yeah. So it's natural, right? But I think it's as a result of me trying to find a way like to stand out, to be different from what my colleagues were doing or are doing, because dancehall, hip hop, we they do them, you get me? But like there's a way you need to like put yourself out, and I felt like this would be like the best way I can also like sort of, we are kind of like ambassadors of our countries and where we're from. So I felt like this is like the best way of me to champion that action. I feel
That's interesting. Now, I also realized that you often switch in between Fanti and English in your songs a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Is this code switching a deliberate choice to reach a broader audience, or is it just a reflection of how you naturally express yourself?
Yeah, so so the Fanti and the Fanti and the English are naturally, that's how I naturally speak, right? But it's also like very intentional, right? Because in the beginning, I found it very difficult even writing in my local dialect, which is the Fanti, right? But eventually, I sort of like focused on that and then pushed that heavily. Funny enough, people pick the Fanti and the English a lot more, but actually sneaking like a little bit of French in there as well.
Okay.
Like you're saying, like we think about I feel like when we make music, most of us just think about like the English-speaking countries. I mean, from here, I'm not saying yes. I feel like we should involve them as well because we are literally surrounded by French-speaking people. You get me? My French is not that good, but I learn it just to be able to tap into those markets as well, right?
Ampe.
Oui, ampe, ce n'est pas oui, yeah.
Now, let's go to the second song you released, which is Phone Date, right?
Yeah.
I realized that you, like, listening to your songs, bro, like, you always take an approach of a serenading tone with your music. Now, do you approach your songwriting with the intention of captivating or sort of wooing listeners, or does it just flow that way? Because every time it's like you don't vibe me, I be boy, I listen to your music, but I be like you try vibe me some way.
Yeah. So how do I even put this? I think it's because of the times I used to record, right? So I'm very nocturnal. So I'm up like when everyone is asleep, right? And recording at those times, most of the time you don't really want to disturb people. You get me? So I think it stems from that point. It makes me sort of like I'm speaking to you, but like I'm sort of whispering. Just, like, so it's just like a byproduct of me recording at night, like all night and all of that, yeah. But at the same time, when I realized that was what I'm sounding like, I was like, okay, we might as well just ride with it, you get me? And I guess it's working, right?
I mean, we could even argue that you strictly do music for women?
Not really. Not really. Not really. I actually do songs for guys, actually.
Let's talk about producers for a little bit.
Right.
How do you collaborate with your producers and to help them like shape your unique sound? Is there a specific orientation you give them before tapping in with them, or you just go and then whatever they make, you just, because your sound is very distinct?
Yeah. So I'm a producer myself. So all this so far 90% of the songs I've released have been produced by me. Right. I think Accra was produced by Shaker. Good. But so far it's been Shaker and then just me. Right. I do have other songs that I collaborate with like other engineers, because I have like producer friends as well. Right. But I produce myself most of the time. That's how come I'm able to like shape my sound like that. Because in the beginning I felt like they might not really get what I'm trying to like put across, right? Yeah, but nonetheless, it doesn't mean I don't collab. I have other songs that I collab with like other producers and engineers. Sometimes I literally even speak to like instrumentalists, even though I play, but I feel like mine might sound like to me. Right. So I talk to like, yo, give me a few chords and let me build on that. Just
diversity.
The whole,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Now let's do something on Palmwine music. Right. The name basically explains itself.
Exactly.
Palmwine music, right?
Yeah.
I realize that it's deeply rooted in instrumentation. It's the instrumentation that carries like the genre Palmwine music, right?
True.
What is it about live instruments that resonates with you? Like, do you think it plays a key role in the authenticity of your sound?
Yeah, very. With the kind of the sound that we're putting out. You see, right now we're in the whole digital production thing, and people are few people are frowning on it. Some are like, yo, let's go with it. I feel like it's what makes my sound stand out is the fact that I'm able to incorporate live instruments, even though I'm producing them like electronically, right? Yeah. Well, I'm blessed enough to play a couple of instruments, right? But I don't, even when I'm spelling, like I'm doing like digital, I try to always write it in such a way that it has like the natural feel, like how if I strum a chord, not every single note in it will be at the same volume. Do you understand? Right. So in terms of intensity, you would have to like balance it a bit, just for you to get. Sometimes you hammer some chords. You just need to like program all those things in, right? Sometimes you need to really, really be intentional about it. Even if you don't know how to play the instrument, like you don't know how to play any instrument, you can literally listen and then mimic it, right? Yeah. So I feel that's the trick in there.
Mm-hmm. Now let's go to the moods. You have the ability to create a specific mood with your music. Right. It always feels like it's a Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting under either a coconut tree or a palm tree.
Yeah.
Probably about to have lunch or something. Yeah. The sun is almost falling around 3 p.m. and I'm just listening to music, probably with my granddad or something.
That is vivid, bro.
Right. So how important is it for you to evoke certain emotions in your listeners? Do you have a particular mood in mind when like starting like a new project or something?
Yeah. So honestly, I think it stems off from how I naturally am, right? Naturally, I'm a very laid back person, right? I would always pick a place of like silence to like a rowdy place. Do you understand? So I feel like that is why it comes out in the music like that, right? But like sometimes I'm very specific to that. Okay, this one I need it to sound this way. Like it's carefully crafted for that mood. But most of the time, I think that's how I am. So it just comes off like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, tell me how you navigate between maintaining your signature sound and experimenting with new styles.
Right.
Do you feel the pressure to sort of evolve musically, or you prefer to stick to what feels natural to you?
Bro, I like the fact that you mentioned pressure. Like I'm my own competition. Like I'm literally always like trying to look for like a sound where I can infuse with what I'm doing, right? As much as I'm trying to explore, trying to like do like other genres and stuff. I don't just do Palmwine, just that I always try to keep that Palmwine high life factor in whatever that I do, in whichever genre that I do, right? I have like reggae songs, I have like rap songs, but I have like Amapiano songs, I have drill songs. You understand? But all of them, as soon as you hear it, you can still tell that okay, this has that that sound of Kofi Bruce in that. So that's my way of like saying, oh, Charlie, I'm with you, but I'm still carrying my squad along. Do you get what I'm trying to
get
do?
it.
Yeah.
Now, like you try and answer everything. So. Now to my very last one.
All right.
Everybody literally they release one single, but then you came in with two. Why?
Charlie, everybody want one. Me, I want two. Honestly, Charlie, the song's plenty. The song's plenty, right? It's a byproduct of you producing yourself. Because anytime you're in the mood, you can literally just hit the studio real quick, pen down some ideas, go back to what you're doing, and then come back, create that mood, like that bubble where you are fully at your apex, to create it. Like, and I'm blessed enough to have like that opportunity to have that. And listen, I'm not a conformist, so I look at things like everybody they do so how me to I go do some, but how me to I go do my own way, go change small, Yeah, so that's how come like I do like the double tracks and and all of that.
Last one.
Sure.
When the tape they drop?
Sorry?
When the tape they drop?
When the tape they drop? Bro. Yo.
Because nobody told me, I don't know. So I just they ask.
Listen, honestly, right? Off the top of my head, I will feel we will drop like 3 tapes, like ready. I don't lie you.
Like as in like albums or like EPs.
Yeah, so for EPs, I will tell you 2 albums. I will get you 1, like ready.
And then you get songs for the vault inside.
That's what I said. Like it's just a byproduct of like working a lot, Yeah, but I think all in all, next week. I'm just kidding. Hopefully next year, I have something fresh for y'all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, take us home.
Take you home. What do I have to say? I can perform, right? I can do the song, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Anytime you see me stuck on the phone, man, I'm in love. Crouch it, margin, wish you I got a date on the phone. If they got my sexy voice on, I'm speaking for settle. And when she go like, baby, I love you. No, I know. Oh, I know what that's oh, I know what that's it. Oh, I know what that's yeah. Oh, I know what that's it. Anytime you see me stuck on the phone, man, I'm in love. Crouch it, imagine me sure I got a date on the phone. If they got my sexy voice on, I'm speaking for settle. And when she go like, baby, I love you. No, man, no.